Welcome, Lisa. It's so nice to finally get to know you. I've been following your art journey for quite a while. So thank you for joining me in the Virtual Art Summit and for this interview today.
Thank you for asking me to join you. It's really exciting, is this?
So I was just saying I had to look up on the map where Yorkshire is because I don't know where everything's laid out in the UK very well. So you're like right in the middle.
Yeah, slap bang in the middle.
And I haven't, like, it's on my bucket list. Iceland, the UK, these are some of my bucket lists right now. And I'm like, I don't know, why have I not gone? I probably have family from your town if I was to look up my genealogy. Like, that's my, my ancestry. So it's kind of fun to see where people are from around the world. And I love the fact that the internet brings us together, which I talk about all the time. Like, I wouldn't have known you otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great to find all these different people from around the world. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and thank you so much for doing the Virtual Art Summit. I'm so excited about it this year, and I'm really excited to see your point of view because, you have such a beautiful color palette. Every time I'm like, oh, I love how she puts those colors together. So I'm really excited to see how that all comes about. I just want to kind of dive into who you are and your little art story and your journey, like when, you started making art and then where you're at now.
Yeah, well, I've always been creative. I've always been doing something all through my life. I've dabbled with all sorts. I've done crochet and cake baking and decorating, weaving. But I've always painted and drawn. It was really lockdown 2020 that I was put on furlough with work, and I just had the time then just to really sort of dive into the painting. I found Louise Fletcher online and took her free Find Your Joy course, and that's what really set me off. And I've just not been able to stop painting since. Yeah, just love it.
And look at you. So many artists who, have this conversation, it's like they've been lifelong creatives. And then at some point the painting and visual arts comes out. But 2020 wasn't that long ago. And yet you're like so prolific and so established now in such a short time.
Yeah, I feel like I've really come on these last few years. Yeah, I learned a lot just through the process of just trying things out and just playing and just seeing what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get to paint every day now?
Not every day, no. I work 4 days a week. I'm a greetings card designer during the week. Sort of Fridays is my day off, so I usually get in the studio then. And then whenever I can on the weekends. I've got 2 children too, so I've got to work it around those as well. So, but they are a bit more grown up. They're 11 and 14 now, so I can sort of sneak in my studio a little bit more now.
Yeah, because that's when they don't really want mom bothering them, right?
Yeah. Just as long as I'm here taxing them around to their friends and things, then that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's same. Like, there is a lot more freedom once they're a little more self-dependent, independent, and not so reliant. Yeah, there's still, for some reason, they want to be fed dinner every night.
Yeah, that's a bit of a chore. Especially when I'm the only one that can cook. I need to try and train them up, really.
Yeah, for sure. I make my kids try and help out with dinner at least once or twice a week. So you do greeting card design. That's really creative in and of itself. How long have you been doing that, and how does it influence your work?
I think I've been doing it about 18 years. Yeah. I didn't go to university. I did an art foundation course after school and did the year-long art foundation course, and I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do. I looked at university courses and things, but still just didn't know what to do. So I got a job in a craft shop, served the customers, helped with orders. I demonstrated all the products because right then it was like lots of scrapbooking and card making and things. So I loved that little world. And then I saw the job for the greetings card designer role, and it was asking for sort of degrees and things. And I thought, there's no way they're gonna want me. But I thought, well, I can try. I'll just go for it and see. Took some of my cards along. Yeah, they were really impressed, and they thought they could see that I had like the creative flair and that they could sort of train me up with Photoshop and Illustrator and things. I've just been doing that for 18 years, and I really like it. It's great just to get that little creative bit of time every day. I mean, you work into briefs and things, but yeah, it's great.
Has it had any influence on the art that you make now, or do you keep them completely separate?
Try and keep them separate, but then again, with doing all the painting, I suppose I've become a little bit looser with the drawing and the style I do at work. And I do try and bring a little bit in because I enjoy it, and I enjoy getting the paints out sometimes and scanning things in. But most of it's on the iPad using Procreate that we do. And then work it up on Photoshop on the Mac computers. So
I imagine that having the iPad and Procreate has shifted the way you do the art quite a bit.
Definitely, it's much looser and not so too graphic and things. I like things sort of more hand drawn and stuff. So I like it.
So tell us a little bit about your art style, what you make and what inspires you. It seems to me as I look, I'm watching you on video. For those of you who are listening, you'll have to tune into the video as well. It seems like nature and your surroundings are influencing you a lot.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean that this piece behind me is a bit more landscape based, and I do some sort of bit more landscape, but most of it is abstract. And I love just where I live. It's 10 minutes up onto the hill, onto like the moors, and it's so gorgeous up there. And I'm constantly taking photos of the little bits of things that people don't often notice. The little flowers in the wall and the moss on the stones and things, and the lines in the fields. Just with all the dry stone walls and things. So I think I definitely do bring that into my work. Yeah, so definitely nature, and I just love the use of colour. Love the use of like just creating texture and patterns in different ways, and yeah.
Are you mostly acrylic painting, or do you do mixed media as well?
Mixed media, it's mainly acrylic, but then I like to bring in some of my own collage papers. I tend to make my collage papers more than pieces I've found, although sometimes I bring in I like the insides of envelopes and stuff like that. But I love jelly printing, so I'll spend a couple of hours just filling the floor of jelly prints. I love that. And I love using like drawing materials, pencil crayons, and I've just got myself a nice big set of those Neocolor ones.
Yes, the
Neocolor
oil pastels.
Yeah, they're
Oh my
great.
gosh, those are my favorite. I have a whole oil pastel course and I can't stop using them. They go in everything now, and I don't even care that they're oil pastels. Together, like oil and water aren't supposed to mix, and I'm like, I'm gonna break rules in.
It's good to have a go. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the whole theme of Virtual Art Summit is return to play, which you returned to in a big way in 2020, and it made a big influence on you coming back to something like painting, like visual arts. We are creative. We do a lot of different playful things. I love that idea of crochet or baking or whatever until you fall into the thing that really lights you up, which for you, I can see painting is really your thing. You're so good at it. But I want to hear like your point of view of like how you allow play in your artwork and your creativity, and the work that you do, and any advice that you would have for our listeners.
I would just say be curious with all the art materials that you have and just try them out and gather lots of different tools. Like I have loads of different tools I always collect to use with my paint, so I don't just stick to paintbrushes. Things I got like this funny little thing here, I got this the other week, a hairbrush cleaning tool, and that's great. So I like to use tools and find out different ways of using them. So rather than just doing the obvious, drag some paint through, how about stamping the paint in or daubing it on with the ends? So I just like to find anything that's heading for the bin. I like to just gather old like debit cards or bottle tops, and I think it's just good just to play and just see what sort of marks they make. And I love playing with colour as well. I often work with a limited palette. I know you work with limited palettes too, and it's just amazing to see the amount of colours you can get just from using just a few colours. Yeah, I love all that.
And it makes it more cohesive anyway when you have a limited palette. I like that point of just using whatever you have and being exploratory of like how could you use it differently, and explore the materials, the tools, or even found objects, and how you make interesting marks or play around with it.
Yeah, I love all that.
So right now I know that you're working towards an exhibit. Is that correct? That was one of the things that we talked about when I invited you into the Virtual Art Summit, is that you had an exhibit coming up around the same time. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, there's two things actually. I've got an exhibition coming up in Milan. So
wow.
when I did CVP in 2021, there's 9 of us artists who sort of got together. We met whilst we did the course, and we're all organising our own exhibition in Milan, which is in May. I've got Open Studios that's coming up in June, so that's my first Open Studio event. So that's going to be lovely, just to invite people in, see my little studio and have a look at my artwork, and maybe I'll demonstrate while they're there, or have an easel up for people to just have a play on, and maybe some cakes.
Cool. Like, tell me more about Milan. Like, did the group of you pick a place to show together, or did you pitch it to a gallery?
We're working with young art hunters, so I think they've got a place that we're using there. So we're just all busy painting, ready for that, ready to ship them all over.
Yeah, and you're going to be able to go to the exhibit. So does that mean you get to go hang out in Milan?
Yeah. So there's a few of us that are able to go and meet up for the opening event and for the few days before. So I've never been to Italy before, so I can't wait.
It's
nice
gorgeous.
to meet people as well.
Yeah, and then to me, that's what's beautiful. That's what I meant, like when we started this conversation. The internet connects us in the weirdest, most beautiful ways. Artists that you would have never really known if it weren't for having connected through CVP, which for those listening is Nicholas Wilton's big master course, Creative Visionary program. Yeah.
Yeah.
That a lot of people have taken and really have benefited from. But to meet up with a group of artists and have that kind of camaraderie and connection is pretty special.
And we're sort of all from all over the world as well. So
Oh,
yeah, it'd be
wow.
lovely to. I've met a couple of them before, but yeah, to meet up with some more of them, it'd be really lovely. Yeah.
I love that. So what I love to ask everyone in the podcast is like, what are you forecasting for your future? What are you looking forward to? And then also, what are your big audacious dreams?
I don't know.
Like we all have something. So what are you looking forward to in the future? What kind of things are on the horizon? Where do you see your art going? What would you like to create? Is there something that you've been meaning to explore, something playful?
I'd love, just to keep painting, maybe go bigger.
See, and I have the opposite problem because I have like 300 million ideas and not enough time to paint, so I never get to it.
I think that's it. I think I don't always have the time, but I'd love to. I like the idea of maybe doing some like YouTube videos. I love the idea of inspiring others to create art. So that'd be great to work out something I can do with that. I've just started doing a couple of workshops in like a local cafe. So that's like pushing me out of my comfort zone to do that. So that's good.
So this is new to you to be teaching online and everything. Yeah,
this is the first sort of video I've done. First thing.
Well, I feel so honored that you said yes. I'm looking forward to it because this is the benefit of me running the Virtual Art Summit is that I have my eye on somebody for a year or two and I'm like, oh, I really want to learn from them. And so I get to have you on the Virtual Art Summit and learn from you. So thank you for taking that big leap, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And what a cool idea though, if you begin to offer more of that for the people who are following you and love your work and want to be inspired by you. YouTube videos, workshops, courses, collaborations, they're all like a really beautiful way of, continuing to spread that joy and play of painting, right?
Yeah, always keep the thing of clay. Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to push you out of your comfort zone. Now you have to think of something big. I mean, yes, you already have a big show in mind, so you're already hitting the bucket list things, but what other big things, what dreams do you have for your future? The big audacious ones.
Just to be a full-time artist, I suppose. That'd be nice.
Like no chateaus in France and traveling around the world in first class. Like those are the kinds of crazy dreams I have. I'm like, let's not hold back. Take me on safari in Africa, like.
I went to a gorgeous place in France, Val-les-Bains. That was beautiful, and I could easily just move out there or just have some like little workshops, like a retreat. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Gather people together for a retreat. Yeah.
I'm going to push you into seeing like we've got to dream big because this is all we've got. This one time here on this wild, crazy planet, we got to like make the best of it. So dream big is I think that's part of play is dreaming still like a child, because when we were kids, we'd imagine all the things that the future could hold, and I don't think we should ever stop dreaming.
Yes, I'll make sure I dream bigger. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I am so incredibly excited to watch your video and to learn from you and see how everyone responds. Everyone can find you at Lisa Metcalfe on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, Lisa Metcalfe.
Awesome. So definitely check her out, follow her, and I'm so glad that I got to meet you today.
Yeah, it's been lovely. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking me to do this. And it's been a lovely chat. Thank you.
Bye.